this determines the rise and fall of a company. Yeah. Um, like what I mentioned earlier, when we wanted to sell clothes, yeah, in a clothing business, it's about whether you want to buy a building, buy a building, or rent a building, or buy a piece of land. But it's not just that, yeah. It's many more. Yeah. For example, I'm sure everyone here is familiar with Tesla. Yeah. Tesla is a very famous company, a very hip company right now. Why do you think they're so famous? Why do you think they are hip? What comes to mind when you hear Tesla? What do you identify the company with?
Technology maybe, ma'am.
Okay, technology. Yeah, and okay, they are sure, of course, technology. Yeah, they are. And what about technology? Well, they disrupt technology. Yeah, what does that mean? It means that they change the way we do things. Yeah, they don't just follow the trend. They don't just finish off what everyone have started, but they actually teach us. Yeah, they lead the way of this is how you should do things. Yeah, they in 2003 they started off as just an electric car company. Yeah, but then today, where we're standing today, they have developed into a giant business, yeah, with spanning in multiple industries with a common thread. Yeah, the common thread is that they are high technology, and also they are very much concerned with the environment. Yeah, with the global warming, with the environment, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so of course you've heard about the electric cars. Yeah, right now they're developing the autopilot system. Yeah, there have been autopilot cars before, but they're now looking into exclusive autopilot systems. So meaning no matter what brand of cars that is driven, that is used, then it can use or implement Tesla system. Yeah. Other than that, they are currently looking into the home home system business. So that means an integrated home system business. So that means um, the solar system integrated with the HEPA filter. Yeah, the one that when you turn on, then it basically cleans off the air, cleanses off the air. Yeah, so they're trying to get into that business as well. Yeah. Now, all this, yeah, how Tesla has developed so much over the course of a decade, yeah, it's because they've done their capital budgeting decisions correctly. Yeah, so they made plans about projects. Yeah, of course, every company, yeah, every business, they have plans. Yeah, for the future. Yeah, and then they evaluate those plans, and then they decide on which plans is feasible, which plans are not. Yeah, well, Tesla is one of those companies that have proven to have done this capital budgeting decisions correctly. Yeah, so budgeting decisions also deals with projects. Yeah, what sort of projects will be profitable? Yeah, what sort of projects will be sustainable? Yeah, so that the company will survive not just 3 years from now. Yeah, because 3 years is the time it takes for the project to start, let's say, generating profits. Yeah, but it will but to make sure that after that one business cycle, that you sustain the business, not only sustain, but gives a positive spillover effect on other business units, like what Tesla is doing. That's capital budgeting decision. Yeah. Okay. so what, yeah, okay, so this is basically the theory behind, not the theory, but the wordings, yeah, of what I just said. Yeah. So 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 what's unique about capital budgeting decision, what makes it bikin pening, what makes it challenging, is because um, these projects, these projects, these investments, that Tesla wanted to invest in, that prove to be successful today, that makes Elon Musk a very rich man today, yeah. 10 years ago, it was just a plan. It was just a plan. Meaning they were never sure that they can be as successful as today. And that's the catch, or that's the challenge about capital budgeting. Because on the one hand, the inflow or the income of a certain project or a certain investment is only a prediction, something that will occur only in the future. However, if you do decide that you will take this project on, you need to make investments today. Cash outflow occurs today. So it's kind of like a little bit gambling, gambling, tanda petik, quote unquote, because you have to spend some money today, and depending on how large your project is, then of course the bigger the project, the bigger the amount of money that you will to tie it up in, you will have to tie it up into capital. But then the return on your investment will only occur in the future. So this is what makes capital budgeting very difficult, very challenging. Because you have to have a crystal ball. You have to look into the future and then you make predictions. So that's why we have tools for that. We need tools in order to be able to predict and get it right. You don't always get it right. Of course, there are a lot of projects that tank, like seperti contohnya saya jadi lupa sih, Xbox, the gaming console, the Xbox, they did not succeed in the market. They failed miserably compared to the PS4, PlayStation 4. Even though the concept is really neat, because you don't just sit on your behinds, you don't just sit and then just like senam jempol. No, you actually stand up and then you move around while you do the gaming. So theoretically, you would think that people will like it, because it gives you a better experience in gaming, because when you're running and ducking in the cave or whatever, and you're running from monsters or whatever, if you're actually running, it feels real, But then they also sell it at a premium, $100 premium, compared to the PlayStation. And it turns out that people, they don't mind sitting down for hours. They actually like sitting down for hours, being couch potatoes, just moving their thumbs around, And two, they're not willing to pay $100 premium, for something that they don't value, So they don't buy the Xbox. They keep buying the PlayStation. So this is capital budgeting. Of course, why when they introduced Xbox, it's because their analysis showed positive results, showed their predictions showed promising results. And so they went ahead with the project, with the product. But it didn't work out the way they planned. So capital budgeting is challenging, and therefore it's a very simple concept, but we have tools, to make sure that we try to capture something that is so abstract, something that is so unknown in the future. We need tools for that. And then we have several tools. There are actually more that is not written here, but I'm not going to go through them, because they're not really relevant with what we're going to discuss today using the Islamic perspective. There's the payback ratio, and then there's the average accounting return, and then of course there's the NPV, and then the IRR. So we're going to go through this quickly, because this will just be a reminder for you. Okay, payback period. Again, this is so you have investments, plans, and you want to know, is this a good project or not? Should I develop into the into the Asian or into the Dutch market or not? Yeah, should I instead of just making biscuits, should I now also start producing milk? Yeah, the company. Yeah, well, one of the tools that can help me decide whether it's a yes or a no is payback period. Yeah, just like the name, it's just knowing when I will get my money back, when I will get my investment back. Yeah. So how long does it take to get the initial cost back in nominal sense? Yeah. So first you need, of course, you need the cash flows. Yeah. You will always need to be able to predict. Yeah. Even though it hasn't happened yet, but you need to predict. Okay. So I think, yeah, given the current demand, yeah, given the current competitors that we have, I think this is what our sales are going to look like 3 months from now. Yeah. And then looking around, I see that it's quite easy to imitate. Therefore, after 3 months, I predict that there's going to be at least one or two competitors, new competitors in the market. So that's how's that going to affect our figures? Yeah. So you have these estimations of the cash flows in the future. Yeah. And then you subtract them to the initial cost that you made. Yeah, if it's a milk factory, then of course it's the milk distilling machine. Yeah, or the cost that you need to spend on maintaining the cows. Yeah, for example. Yeah, and then uh, about payback is you then need to decide the cutoff rate. Yeah, so for example, it means that okay, I need to be able to get all my investments back within 2 years, for example. Yeah. In 2 years, I need to get all my money back, all the money that I've invested in it. So first I need to set the cutoff period. Yeah. So if my payback period is before 2 years, then this is a go-ahead project. Yeah. If it's after 2 years, then it's a no-no. Yeah. So here's an example. It's very simple. Yeah. I'm sure that you've seen this before. You've done this before in an exam. So this is just a refresher. Yeah. Assume you will accept the project if it pays back within 2 years. Yeah. Year one. Yeah. Year one. This is right. This is your cash inflow. This is your cash outflow. Yeah, this is what you spend, 165,000 for machines and etc. And then this is what you think you will get. So you have that much to recover. That becomes what you have left in the second year. And then you have this much to recover. So in the third year, you have how much is this? Yeah, you have 60,000. Yeah, to recover in year three. So in the second year, you still have 31,000. Yeah. Meanwhile, oops. Oh, I forgot to wrote. I forgot to wrote. Oh, here it is. Assume that this is your cutoff rate. Your cutoff rate is 2 years, and it says here that during year two you still have 31,000 to recover. Therefore, no, we should not accept the project. Yeah, we reject it because it's not soon enough. Yeah, it's not quick enough. Yeah, and you need to have it recovered by 2 years, and it's not recovering in 2 years. So no, we don't accept the project. Yeah. Now, what do you think is the major criticism of payback? I need to check on people's memory. What's the criticism? What's the limitation of payback period? What is the limitation? Hello, siapa yang lainnya? I haven't heard your voice. People's voice.
Ini payback period, ma'am.
Yes, payback period. That's what I've been talking about. Yes. What is the limitation of payback period?
Dia cuma menghitung waktunya doang, ma'am.
It only calculates the time. Yeah, and so if it only calculates the time, then you need to complete your answer.
Jadi dia nggak merepresentatifkan gitu dari sebuah proyek apakah itu bagus karena cuman membandingkan seberapa cepat waktu yang dibutuhkan untuk uang itu balik gitu. Mungkin gitu sih, Mem. Nggak tahu kalau ada yang mau menambahkan.
Okay, thank you, Amira, for trying. sure, it serves a certain purpose only, yeah, which is just knowing. Okay, I forgot to mention one thing. I don't know how it was in your previous class. I'm not sure how it was in your previous class, but during my class, because this is an English class, I would really, really appreciate it if you also speak in English. Yeah, so that we have a full learning experience. Yeah, because this will be beneficial for you too. Yeah, this is an opportunity for you too to practice your English. This is not a grammar class. Yeah, English is also not my first language, so I make a lot of mistakes along the way. Yeah, so but you try. Yeah, nggak apa-apa. Slowly, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, we learn bersama-sama, membiasakan diri. Yeah, sometimes I use Indonesian as well. I mix as well, but let's not use full-blown Indonesian. Yeah, karena because you have that opportunity in your other classes, and in this class, let's use the opportunity to practice our English skills. Yeah, I know that there are some lectures. I don't know about this class, but I know that there are some lectures that allows the discussion to take place in Indonesian, but because I teach in IUP, that is not allowed. That is not the idea of having an English class. Yeah, so let's try our best. Yeah, I understand that it's challenging. It's challenging for me too. Yeah, if I could choose, then I would speak in Indonesian. It's much easier for me. Yeah, um, but there's a purpose to this. Yeah, and let's try to stick to that purpose. Yeah. Okay, sure. Yeah. It only takes care of the time. Yeah, it doesn't really give you any insight as to, so is this project going to how will this project affect the company value? How will this project affect the profitability? Yeah, let alone the company value. Yeah. So yes, that's you're correct, Amira. It only talks about time. Yeah. Um, but is it completely, but do we need to shut it down completely, like completely disregard the concept? Not really, no. Yeah, there are some instances where we need to use payback. Yeah, maybe we don't need to, but it's convenient for us to use payback. Even big companies, yeah, very large companies, yeah, listed companies, sometimes they use payback ratios for analysis. Yeah, for what project, for what sort of issues? Well, for short-term issues, for trivial issues, yeah, issues that are not so big, then that you don't need to spend so much resource, yeah, in calculating them, then it's okay to use payback ratio. Yeah. However, we need more information about what a certain project entails. Yeah. Okay. And another criticism, ada lagi? Is there another? What is another criticism? Can you please? Yes.
It only
Jihan?
consider the cash flow on the payback period. I mean, the beyond the payback period are not considered.
Okay. 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 Yes. So that means it's foresighted. Yeah, I mean it's short-sighted.
It ignores the risk of the project cash flows, and there's no opportunity cost of capital of investors also.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, Jihan. Okay. So that's the biggest criticism for payback ratio, is that it ignores risk. Yeah. So you treat potential cash flows in 1 month with potential cash flows in 8 months the same. But wait a minute. When you stand 10 meters from here, if I'm standing here against the wall, and then you stand 10 meters from me, I can still see you. As you walk away further from me, you stand 100 meters away, you become very small. Yeah. If you stand 1 kilometer away from me, I cannot see you anymore. Yeah. We have limited eyesight. Yeah. The same with companies. Companies have limited abilities to predict what happens in the future, because the future brings uncertainty, and this is not incorporated into payback. Yeah. Therefore, for this particular reason, they make discounted payback. Yeah. Now you take into account cost of capital. Yeah. But still, yeah, it doesn't take care of the previous criticisms. Yeah. Now, there is something that we like the most. Yeah, everyone knows, and it's called the NPV analysis. Yeah, the net present value analysis. Yeah, it's such a simple concept. Yeah, a very simple concept. um, it's simply just, what do you think is the future cash flow going to be? Yeah, what do you predict the future cash flow is going to be? And then you discount them back to the present. Yeah, and then you deduct your current expenditures. Yeah, and then that net number, that's your net present value analysis. And when do you accept the project? When? When do you accept the project?
When the NPV
Using
positive.
this, when the NPV is positive. Okay, now someone please tell me, why do we like NPV so much? What's special about NPV? There's a lot of answers, yeah, but there's one knockoff answer that makes us always go back to NPV again and again. Like you do all these fancy analysis nowadays. You come up with new stuff, but then you want to go back to. You always have to have your NPV analysis. Why? Why do we like it so much?
Because it focuses on building the shareholders' value, ma'am.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the right answer. But how? How does a simple NPV analysis, which is it's just first grade mathematics, right? It's just plus minus, yeah. How does that lead into shareholder value? How does that lead to share? How does that tell us about the increase of shareholder value, though? Could someone take us through the logics? I agree with you. Tadi Jihan ya? Was it you, Jihan, that
Yes,
answered?
ma'am.
Okay, I agree with you, Jihan. Remember, on our first day of introductory financial management or financial management, I keep on forgetting what it's now called. I think it's financial management. Yeah. On the first day, you were told that what is the objective of a corporation? It's to. What is the objective of a corporation? It's to maximize what? Is it profitability? Do you want to maximize profits as your objective? What is
No,
the
ma'am.
objective? No. What do you want to maximize, Demi? What do you want to maximize, Demi, as a corporation? You were, I hope,
shareholder value.
exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah, not
Nilai pemegang
profitability.
saham.
Yes, nilai pemegang saham. So share value. Yeah, it's what you want to maximize in a corporation. Yeah, not profitability. Why not? Well, because profitable. What do you mean by profitability? Are we talking about accounting profitability? Is it short term? Is it long term? What are we talking about profitability? Is it now? Because if you want profitability now, then I'm going to cut off the prices. Yeah, I'm just gonna sell it for cheap, for example. Yeah, I don't care about research and development. But if you aim for long-term profitability, then I'm going to take small profitabilities, and then I'm going to spend on my research and development and make sure that I'm going to be in this game for a long term. So when it comes to profitability, you cannot have a unanimous objective. Yeah, what profitability do you mean? Yeah, sales. Oh, that's even more confusing. The bottom line that you should aim for is to maximize the shareholder value. And we like NPV so much because the calculation points directly towards that objective. But my question is, how then? Everyone here knows the formula of an NPV analysis, yeah? There's not even a formula. Makanya nggak saya tulis di sini. I didn't write it here because there's no formula, ya kan? It's just cash outflow minus, ya kan, plus the present value of cash inflows. Excuse me. Yeah, there's no formula. Yeah, how does that simple formula, yeah, simple equation, yeah, point out exactly to the increase of shareholder value? Jihan mau coba nggak? Because you correctly identified the why we like it so much? Jihan, mau coba?
Because they estimate the opportunity cost of capital,
Mhm.
and then they calculate the present value of future cash flow discounted at the opportunity cost of capital rate.
Mhm.
I think that's all I remember, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Okay, but that isn't really okay. What you're saying is true about the NPV, yeah, but it doesn't really tell us why. NPV shows exactly how that certain project, if it's positive, it's going to increase the shareholder value. It doesn't. Yeah. Okay. So that's my question. I'll give an opportunity for one other person to try, and then I'll give you a star because I sometimes give out stars. People who can answer my challenging questions, and stars can be useful. Yeah, in the end. Yeah, when I grade and then yeah, they're useful. They're extra points. Can someone point out to me how a simple NPV equation actually points out to the increase of shareholder value if it's a positive, and the reduce, which means yes,
Right.
sure, Jamie.
Because it is represented in stock prices, ma'am.
How is that so? How so? Kok bisa?
Because
Well, not
I
really.
think
Not really stock price, because what stock price are you talking about? Are you talking about market stock price or the stock price that we assign, that we sell our companies for?
The company's stock price.
How? Can you show us the way?
I don't think I have an explanation.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay.
I'm
Thank you
not
for
sure.
trying. Yeah. Thank you for trying. Okay. Remember, okay, NPV is just a simple mathematics. Yeah. But what's important is the ingredients that you put into the NPV analysis. Remember when you talked about apa namanya, relevant cash flows, irrelevant cash flows, there's opportunity costs, and then there's sunk costs. Do you put it in? Do you put it out? Whatever. Yeah. The ingredients that you put into the cash flow analysis is important. Yeah, it's fundamental. Yeah, it's monumental. Yeah. So why you spend so much time in making sure that the cash flow that it's no, that's one, and then another one. Remember when you did the free cash flow analysis, the lengthy process of doing the free cash flow analysis. Remember? Ingat ya, free cash flow analysis. You start off with net income, yeah, and then you want to make sure that only the cash relevant entities, your net income, so you add back depreciation, yeah, because depreciation is a non-cash transaction. Remember? Ingat? Sudah? Yeah. You have net income, yeah, and then after you have free cash flow, and then you apa namanya, and then you what's your capital spending, and then you end up with operating cash flow. Yeah, that's the number that you use as cash flow. Remember? Yeah, that's the number that you use as an input for your NPV analysis, and that's the number that you take or you discount it to the present value. Yeah, it's not the net income. Yeah, it's not the sales number. It's the operating cash flow. It's the free cash flow. Yeah, why you went through the length of making sure that it's free cash flow? It's because when we say free cash flow, it means that there's no more responsibilities attached to that cash flow. Yeah, so when you take these numbers that you've adjusted of all the non-cash activities, yeah, of all the responsibilities attached to the cash flows, yeah, and then you discount it back to the present value, yeah, so that becomes the cash inflow of your NPV, and then you take away or you subtract the cash outflow, and if you still have a positive number left, even if it's just $1 or 1 rupiah, it means that that's exactly how much the wealth of your shareholders is increased by, is fatter by. Because it's not net income, which, you know, for net income, you still have a portion of net income you need to pay out as dividends, a portion of net income you need to pay out as depreciation, yeah, even though it's a theological form. No, this is free cash flow, yeah. So if you take it to the present and then you take away or you subtract the spending on machinery or whatever, the cash outflow, and then you still have a certain amount left, then that means that, be it $1 or $1,000, that is how much this project, if you take on this project, is going to make your shareholder size fatter by. Paham? Because it's free cash flow. Yeah. How fat, yeah, how fat your company size is, and then depending on how many numbers of shares, yeah, or how many, then you divide it by the numbers of shares, and that's the price of the share that you sell. Yeah, but basically that's the size of the company in terms of the wealth of the company, because it's a free cash flow. Yeah, it has no responsibilities attached to it. So that's why we like it. Yeah, that's why if it's positive, you say yes, because if it's a positive $1, it means that if I say yes to this project, then the size of the wealth of my shareholders will be fatter, will increase in size by $1. That $1 is free. That $1 is real. There's nothing about it is only theory like depreciation, or only concept like depreciation. Nothing about it I owe to my suppliers, yeah, like accrued accounts receivable, accounts payable, yeah. Nothing about it is something that someone owe me, but it's actual $1 that is not free of any responsibility. Do you understand my point? Okay. So that's why we like NPV analysis so much, yeah, because it gives intuition to how much exactly this project is going to increase the company's size in terms of value, in terms of dollar value by, yeah, because it's free cash flow. Okay, so that's NPV analysis, and then there's the internal rate of return, yeah. The internal rate of return is simply just setting the NPV to 0, yeah, yeah. So what you generate, yeah, what return you generate if the discounted cash inflow is just exactly the same amount as as how much you spent today, yeah, then this is the return of the project, yeah. So how much the project generates in return once it break evens, yeah. What is the return once it break evens, yeah? And then, yeah, you compare the IRR with the required return. If the IRR is higher, then you accept the project, yeah. Now now between NPV and IRR, which one do we like better? It's the NPV, yeah, because IRR, again, yeah, it's only a yes or no decision. Yeah, it's a yes or no decision. Is this a good project or a no project, a no project? Yeah. As for NPV, sure, it's also a yes or no, but also that number, yeah, as a result of an NPV analysis, that's also an indicator of the increase in size. So if it's positive 2,000, then that's the value of the company, the size of the company, the market capitalization of the company is that much, yeah, increased by that much. And none of the other calculations provide us with that, yeah. Okay, and then there are also problems with the IRR, yeah. It sort of breaks down, yeah. The IRR breaks down when there's non-conventional cash flow. What does that mean? It means that it's only suitable for projects that you only spend once upfront, and then in the future you get money coming in, yeah. But then there are some instances where you spend money today, and then money comes in several times in the future, and then you spend money again at time 3. Yeah, so the cash flow is irregular. So the cash outflow is not just T0, but also at T3. Like for example, you building a house. Yeah, you don't buy everything up front. Yeah, but at T3, for example, you need to buy other things. Yeah, that you shouldn't buy at T0. Yeah, so the cash pattern is irregular. Yeah, the cash outflow occurs not only at T0 but also at T3, T4, T5. And when you do this, the IRR breaks down. Why? Well, because remember when how to do it in IRR, it's just a mathematical iteration, right? It's mathematically impossible for you to solve it. So you make a trial and error, remember? Yeah, jadi you set a certain number, yeah, and then you plug it into the formula. Terus kalau misalkan nilainya 0 atau lebih tinggi dari 0, and then you change the number, and then you keep doing it until you get the IRR correct. Yeah, so it's a mathematical iteration. Yeah, but when you have non-conventional cash flows, like what I just said before, it doesn't work. Yeah, what happens is then you for example this, yeah, for example this is your cash inflow, and then your cash outflow doesn't occur at time 0, but it occurs at year 3. Yeah, and what happens is then you have something that looks like this. You have 2 IRRs. Yeah, you should only have 1 IRR. Yeah, but you have 2. Yeah, then it becomes confusing. If your required return is 15%, yeah, then you might want to reject. Yeah, because you're right here. Yeah, but then you get confused, but because you also have another one. Why? Because it just mathematically breaks down. Yeah, and then there's another situation where IRR also doesn't work, is when you have mutually exclusive project. What is a mutually exclusive project? When you choose one, you can't choose the other. For example, you only have 10 million rupiah, yeah, and so you need to choose one brand of laptop that you buy. Yeah, so if you buy this laptop, then you cannot buy the other one. Yeah, because you only have enough money for one resource. Yeah, that's mutually exclusive projects. When you have mutually exclusive projects, then the IRR doesn't work. Yeah, it will show a different result from NPV, and you should always choose NPV. Yeah. Okay. So that was just us recalling about the NPV and IRR. Yeah, that's what's been done in the conventional finance. Yeah, that's how things have been done in conventional finance. Now, can we do this in Islamic finance? What do you think is the biggest concern in Islamic finance for these tools like NPV and IRR? What do you think is the biggest concern? Someone? Hello. What about the gentleman? You want to try? Having talked about the NPV and the IRR, yeah, especially those two, especially NPV, yeah, it's the most powerful tool that we believe in, and it's very handy. I mean, I cannot think of another way to do what NPV does. Yeah, what would you
Ma'am,
think?
I want to
Yes,
try to
Danang,
answer.
yeah.
I think it's because in the NPV we calculate about it future value of money in the cash flow.
Okay. Yes. There's and that's translated into what?
So
In the discount rate. Yeah, the discount rate. Yeah, Dana. Yes.
Yeah, ma'am.
So yeah. Okay. Thank you, Dana. Okay. So yes. Yeah. This becomes it's wonderful that we always have it. We always have to take that extra step. Yeah. There's where the jihad is. Yeah. Other people may have it easy. Yeah, the conventional people or whatever, whenever they have something that's easy, useful, effective, then they can just go ahead. Yeah, as long as there is no real damage. But in our church, yeah, we always have to take it one step further. What about the Sharia perspective of it? Yeah, and then that's where the story begins. It gets interesting, even more interesting. Yeah, there's an issue of discounting. Yeah, sebentar ya, saya benerin juga dulu. Okay, there's an issue of discounting. Yeah, that not everyone likes. Yeah, not everyone likes the issue of discounting. Yeah, because why? Well, because this discount rate, yeah, first has to do with time value of money. You take something that occurs in the future and then you take it to the present. Yeah, but so this has been, ini sudah didiskusikan di sebelum meet ya, time value of money sudah ya, in Islamic perspective sebelum meet. So what is our views on time value of money? The Islamic view of time value of money that we agree on right now, that we agree upon
Economic
right now.
value of time, ma'am.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Sorry, I forget the definition.
Would someone else help Demi? You can use economic concept, or you could just explain it in your own words why we accept the time value of money, just in a not slightly, just in a different way that others do, the conventionals do. Ceritanya gimana? We need this, yeah? Yeah, Danang, silakan.
Because we calculate the time value of money only in the transaction because there is underlying assets that so Islamic just calculate the time value of money when there is a transaction in cuma jadi pas lagi transaksi doang web. Okay. Kalau ada barang yang diperjualbelikan.
Okay, so I'm not quite sure. I think you're trying to get there, but you get okay. So actually, the terminology is really, here's the thing. We live in a world where the conventional finance, the conventional economy have existed first. Yeah, has been established. Bukan existed, yeah, have been established first. Yeah, everything's established. The system, the theories, the knowledge have been established. So they call it the time value of money. Yeah, but actually for us, it's more accurate if we call it time value of commodity. Yeah, so maybe what Danang is trying to say is that, yeah, because it has to do with transaction or commodity. But basically, in a nutshell, a very simplified term is that we accept the time value of money in a sense that we acknowledge the different qualities of time. Different points in time will bring about different qualities. Yeah, what does that mean? It means that if you give me an umbrella today, yeah, it will be different. The value of that umbrella will be different if you give me 3 days from now, because maybe today is a rainy day and 3 days from now it's not a rainy day. So different points in time will have different values. Yeah, that's one basic concept of time value that we accept. Yeah, we accept the knowledge that different points in time will have different values. That's it. Yeah, so time value of money, we accept it if we use it as an evaluation tool, not a consideration. I'll show you an example for that. Okay, so again, going back to the NPV analysis, yeah, there's an issue of time value of money, but we've taken care of that. We accept that, yeah, with the notion of time value of money, we accept because different points in time will have different values because of the utility. Yeah, not because of the interest related to it, but not because of the opportunity cost, but it's because of the utility. Yeah, and then also NPV receives or gains criticism because of the discounting. Yeah, this discounting activity is very much related to interest rate. Yeah, because when you this cost of capital, yeah, that you use to discount, yeah, or the required rate of return that you use to discount is very much related to interest rate. Yeah, so then the the big question becomes, what about discounting? Is it allowed? Yeah, we'll get to that. Okay, so I'm gonna look at my slides first. Capital budgeting in Islamic perspective. Yeah, now the concern is twofold. Yeah, we still need to maximize the value of the shareholders. We don't leave that objective. Yeah, we're still on that track. Yeah, but however, yeah, not only we need to be acceptable in the Sharia perspective, but we also want to achieve the highest possible levels of Islamic ethics. So that's very that's a big task. That's a big job. Yeah, so we need to keep talking about it. We need to keep finding solutions for it. Okay, so here's here's what I wrote. Yeah, so if Islam condemns riba, yeah, riba means, yeah, so we don't like interest. Therefore, in every transaction, in every product, we want zero interest. We want nothing to do with interest. Then, if the discount rate is very much related to interest, then shouldn't there be a zero discount rate? The answer is no. Yeah, why not? Can anyone try? The answer is no. We shouldn't use. What happens if we use zero discount rate? If we use zero discount rate, then that would be very inefficient, because then we would accept every project. Yeah, because every number that's because then the cash flow would be so big. Yeah, the cash flow would be so big because you divide it with zero. Yeah, so if Islam condemns riba, then why is it okay for us to do discounting? Okay. Oh, well, what you do, what is the essence of discounting? Okay, the essence of discounting is, okay, if I developed this new product, yeah, this milk product, instead of selling biscuits, I develop a milk, yeah, I make milk now, produce milk now, and then I sell it. I believe that in 1 year's time, I'm gonna get this future cash inflow. Yeah, but that future cash inflow, that 1,000 cash inflow, I know exactly that there are uncertainties attached to it, like the economy, yeah, like the social condition, like the competition, and so on and so forth. In order to capture this uncertainty, I need to discount it using a discount factor. Yeah, and what a discount factor, what usually is used is to make sure that this is this adjusts for the number, is the discount factor is actually just an opportunity cost. Yeah, an opportunity cost of what? If I were to use this money instead of investing it in this milk production activity, if I were to use this money if it were in conventional NPV, if I were just to put it in the bank and the bank earns interest, how would that be? Yeah, so that's opportunity cost. Yeah, instead of using the money that I invest in my project, I use the money and then I put it in the bank, and then the money earns me interest. Yeah, that's conventional. But if we want to take the Islamic perspective, then we can just say that, what if the discount rate, yeah, is just the opportunity cost? What if I didn't use my money and invest it in buying machines for sterilizing the milk? What if I just use that money and then I invest it in another halal investment, halal certified investment? That's opportunity cost. Yeah, so that discount rate is just the return of another comparable halal investment. Yeah, so the concept is fine. It's just an opportunity cost. Except now we really stay clear, or we stay far away, or we really don't want we don't want to have anything to do with interest. Instead, we look for other. Yeah, so the concept of discounting is just fine. Yeah, that's according to that's the belief that we take. Yeah, there are some other scholars who still disagrees with discounting. They don't like discounting. Why? Because discount rate it smells too much like interest. Ya, membukakan pintu, menjadi pintu belakang masuknya riba. I don't know the English word for that. Yeah, the back door. Yeah, the back door for riba. Yeah, some scholars still think so, but we, or I, we take the first approach. Yeah, we believe it's fine, as long as the concept is fine. The concept of discounting cash flow is fine. Yeah? Adjusting the future into the present is fine. Yeah, because the concept of time value of money, we accept it. Yeah, and two, because it's just opportunity cost. And as long as we choose halal certified investments, then it's fine. Yeah. Then what about, and then there's another second criticism. Remember when you, in your exam, did you use interest compound tables? Ingat? Ingat ya? Yeah, I wanted to show it. Yeah, ada present value 1%, future value 1%, and then yeah. And then the criticism becomes, what about compound interest tables? Oh, that's like a showcase of interest. Yeah, isn't that haram? Yeah. That becomes the big question, another big question. Yeah. But then the answer is, you know what? Again, like I said earlier, we live in a world where the conventional finance system and knowledge, has already been established, and then common lingos, common terminologies have also been established. Yeah, so that compound. Okay, can you excuse me for a minute? I need to ask my children to be quiet. Yeah, they're quiet now. So those compound interest tables are actually not interest. They can be used as indicators of interest, sure, but what they are actually just does anyone here not know what I'm talking about? Karena kalau nggak tahu berarti saya harus browsing dulu gambar aja. Semua tahu ya? Yes, can I hear your voice? Say yes. I see Demi shaking, nodding, nodding her head. But could someone else? Do you know what I'm talking about? Compound interest tables. Can I hear your voice?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So we call it compound interest tables, but the truth is, it's not the numbers that you see there. It's mathematics. Yeah, it's just a table that shows at a certain percentage rate how much a number is going to grow by or decrease by. It's just a number. It doesn't have anything to do with interest. We call it interest tables because we use it in conventional finance, because we use it to calculate interest. But you know that table is also used to calculate the growth of bacteria. Yeah. So when you start questioning about the halalness of this table, then it's halal. It's just mathematics. Yeah, maybe let's not call it interest tables then. Yeah, let's call it compound growth tables. Yeah, because we use it in biology, we use it in health, medicine. We use it in they use it in ilmu sosial, because it for untuk pertumbuhan penduduk. Yeah. So it's not really interest, it's just numbers, it's just mathematics to show you the growth and the decrease of numbers. Yeah, so this has been a big criticism as well. Yeah, when you do the NPV analysis, they always give you this interest table. It's not interest table. I mean, okay, then let's not call it interest table from now on. Yeah, when in an Islamic finance context, let's call it a growth number table. Yeah, I don't know what they call it in biology and what they call it in sociology, but let's not call it interest tables, because they're not exclusively for interest. Yeah. Okay. So can we do discounting? Is it permissible in Islam? There's a khilaf, khilafiyah, but we choose that yes, it is allowed. Yeah. As long as we use it as an evaluation tool, not as a consideration tool. What does that mean? What does that mean? It means begini, kurang lebih sedikit gambaran. When we talk about the time value of money, you're being offered 2,000. Yeah, you can choose it for today or in a year from now. Yeah, choose. Do you want me to give you 2,000 today, or you want me to give you 2,000 1 year from now? Yeah, you would choose today. Yeah, why? Because you know that you can use that 2,000 to invest in something else, and then you can earn 500 in 1 year. So in 1 year, you get 2,500. And if you wait for another year, you only get 2,000. Is this permissible in Islam? To have this decision? To have this decision of wanting 2,000 today because you know that you can invest that 2,000 in a profitable investment. I don't know, you can sell something, or and then you get 500. Therefore, you choose 2,000 today instead of 2,000 a year from now. Is that permissible in Islam? Boleh nggak itu dalam Islam? Boleh dong. Boleh banget. That's, kalau nggak boleh, how do we do business then? That's how you do business. That's how you evaluate offers. Yeah, that's, you evaluate offers by thinking about how much it will generate in return. Yeah, so if you're being offered 2,000 today and 2,000 1 year from now, well, I take 2,000 today, because if I get it today, yeah, I can grow it and make it 2,500. That's time value of commodity, time value of money that we believe in. Yeah, what is not permissible, that is what is prohibited, yeah, is if that 500 is guaranteed since today. Yeah, that's prohibited. Yeah, it's prohibited if I say, yeah, so the previous land, my previous statement, that's okay, it's human of you. Yeah, kan sunnah ya, sunnahnya berdagang ya. Then if you want to dagang, then you do these calculations all the time. Yeah, but what's prohibited is if, okay, I would rather take that 2,000 1 year from now because I've been guaranteed that I'm going to get 2,500. It's predetermined. Now that's prohibited. Yeah, now that's prohibited. See the difference? This is called using time value of money, or discounting. Yeah, in this case, that 500 is the discount factor. Yeah, not the discount factor, but the discount figure. Yeah. This is as an evaluation tool. Yeah, to consider, to evaluate. Okay, if I do this and that. Meanwhile, this is using 500 as a consideration against 2,000. This is not permissible. The same with discounting. Yeah, the same with discounting. Discounting is allowed if the discount rate, yeah, if the NPV is used to evaluate, yeah, is this a profitable investment or a non-profitable investment? Yeah, but if you use that discounting activity to discount bill of exchange atau produk hutang, yeah, then it's not allowed. Yeah, then it's not allowed because it's not allowed because then it's riba. Yeah, because then now sekarang kita lagi hitung-hitungan bunga. Yeah, if you're using it to discount payments of debt. Yeah, so as an evaluation tool, it's fine. Yeah, but as a consideration tool, meaning as a reward, yeah, of a certain debt, of a certain investment, predetermined, then it's not allowed. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So if we accept the notion of time value of money, and we also accept the notion of discount factor, because if we don't, then the discussion ends here. Yeah, it's free for you to choose. Yeah, saya lupa tulis di sini tadi, ada beberapa pendapat, ada beda pendapat Khan. Jadi one of the earliest proponents of discounting is Zarqa, tahun 1983. He's the first person in Islamic finance who says that it's allowed, it's okay to use the discount factor. Yeah, and then even though it was in 1983, his work was very overly simplified. He said okay to discounting, but he didn't really say anything about time value of money. Meanwhile, we know for sure that discounting the future into the present definitely has something to do with time value of money. Well, Zarqa made a significant contribution by explaining that discount factor is just an opportunity cost, but he didn't connect it with time value of money. So that's what the following authors did, like Khan, Khan in 1981, and then Khan and another guy in 1986. They started completing the picture that was one put forward by Zarqa in 1983. But this one train of thought, there's another group or train of thought that says that no matter what, discounting is provides a backdoor to riba. Saya tapi lupa namanya. Not very popular, because this is the popular opinion. Because if you don't discount, then how do you? If you don't do discounting, it's very difficult to take into account the different types of risks. Anyway, so if we accept the notion of time value of money, and we also accept the notion of discounting, then it is also okay to use NPV and IRR in Islamic finance. Approved, check. However, we need to make some adjustments. We need to make some adjustments. One of the biggest differences between NPV and IRR is that the assumption of NPV is that you reinvest the cash flow at the cost of capital. Meanwhile, at the required return. Meanwhile, for the IRR, the assumption is that you reinvest the cash flow at the IRR rate. That's one of the major differences. Well, we accept the NPV and the IRR analysis, but we make a few adjustments. Basically, what it's trying to say is, in Islamic finance, using the Islamic perspective, the Islamic principles, we try to be less opaque as possible. We need to be less abstract as possible. So we need to take into account even more uncertainty. So that means that when you do the IRR calculation, you cannot automatically use the IRR rate as an assumption for the reinvestment rate, but for every period, you should use different rates depending on what you think the economy is going to be, depending on what you think the competition is going to be. So you need to have different discount rates for every period. And for the cash outflow, it is suggested to use cost of capital. This is an idea that is put forward by Ubaidullah, by Muhammad Ubaidullah. So for cash outflow, it's more accurate if you use cost of capital. Why? Because you were discounting it against the rate of return that is required by your sources of financing. And then the third one is that cost of capital, even though we use it as a discount factor, we need to make sure that it's not interest rate. That our sources of financing is a non-interest bearing credit, or debt. Therefore, you can use sukuk. You can use the rate of return of any halal certified investments. Okay, so in the field of finance, discounting has been an inevitable. It's almost like an everyday use. If you see a cash flow that will occur in the future, then you will definitely want to discount it into the present. And as the discount factor, like I said earlier, it's an opportunity cost, right? It's what you could have earned elsewhere. If it's conventional, then it's an interest earning savings. But if it's another halal investment, what rate of return you could earn if you put your money elsewhere. But there could be times when this discount rate could not be used. When we must admit that maybe there are some points when you just really can't think of, because it just doesn't exist, other potential investments. You don't have other options. maybe it's because of the political situation, maybe it's because of the pandemic. You have no other options to compare it. Therefore, you cannot obtain an opportunity cost. Yeah, therefore you cannot do the discount factor. Remember, because that discount factor is actually the opportunity cost, what you lose out on. Yeah, because I keep repeating this because I'm afraid that you don't grasp the concept. Yeah, I'm afraid. I'm just worried. Yeah, discounting means it should be 1,000 in the future. Yeah, but we adjust it downwards. We make it smaller because you also lose the opportunity of investing it in somewhere else. Yeah, so that 1,000, if you put it in the present, it's no longer 1,000. It is now 800 because you lose out on an opportunity on investing in on another investment. Okay, but sometimes that other option does not exist, and during that case, then you cannot use the discount rate. Yeah. Another case is especially this is especially applicable in Islamic finance, is that when you know what, not every indicator can be calculated the way this NPV and IRR analysis does. For example, sometimes what we mean by success or achievement is not really in dollar terms. Yeah. Sometimes, for example, when you build a mosque, it's deemed successful when the number of people attending the mosque is increased. Yeah, the output is actually the increase in the number of people that comes to the mosque. Yeah, or when it's a health unit, is the number of people is healed or relieved from a certain pain. Yeah, or when it's road improvements, then how many fatal accidents have been reduced. Yeah, if you do this, can you really do? You can't really say, okay, so is 10 less accidents today better than 10 less accidents 1 year from now? Can you do that? No, it's a bit difficult. Or is 50 people in the mosque today the same value if with 50 people in the mosque 1 year from now? Can you assign discounting for that? Not really. Yeah, so there are times, when there are projects that cannot really use the NPV analysis. Yeah. Now, currently, this is the last thing that I'm going to say for today. Yeah. This is currently the government has it started with the ADB, the Asian Development Bank. Yeah, they introduced they pushed business players to adopt something called, ini enggak saya tulis kayaknya, itu discussion question. Okay, kalau gitu saya tulis di sini aja. Yeah, I'm gonna write it here. Okay, they call it ENPV and EIRR. Yeah. So right now, it started off with the ADB, and then now Ibu Sri Mulyani, she has issued keputusan menteri. Yeah, basically saying that now corporations, be it conventional or Sharia, need to not only look at NPV but also look at ENPV. What is ENPV? Is economic net present value. What is the difference with economic net present value? The difference is that cash flow that you see in NPV is just cash outflow, and then plus cash inflow. Now you add in some social components. Yeah, there are new measures for social components, and somehow that social impact needs to be translated into numbers, and somehow it needs to affect NPV. For example, take for example a hotel business. You want to make a hotel. So in a conventional NPV analysis, then the outflow would just be the piece of land that you buy, the cost of the construction, of course, and then the cost of the perizinan, and then the cash inflow would be what? The rental rate, how much you get, how much people pay you for the room once you start operating. Yeah, that's the NPV analysis. Yeah, you make a prediction for the next 5 years, and then you arrive at a number. If it's positive, you go ahead with the project. If it's negative, you say no. That's NPV. Right now, and this is very, very suitable for Sharia businesses, NPV is not enough. Yeah, for that hotel. Yeah, if it's Sharia hotel, the cash inflow should not just be the rental rate. Yeah, what people pay you for renting the hotel rooms. Yeah, but also, for example, maybe because you built a Sharia hotel in that area, maybe the religiousness level of that area increases, therefore the crime rate reduces, yeah, within that area. That needs to be translated into numbers. Yeah, that's the positive externality. You also, that's the cash inflow. Maybe there's a negative social impact. For example, because you build a hotel, maybe the pollution increases. It used to be a peaceful green area, relatively untouched area. Yeah, now you build a hotel. Yeah, emission increase. Yeah, gas emissions increase because there's AC, hundreds of ACs will be on. Yeah, so there's a pollution effect that needs to be translated into number, and that, where do you put it? Is it a cash outflow or cash inflow? That pollution, the contribution of the pollution for in the hotel business. Is that cash outflow or cash inflow? Outflow. It's a cash outflow. Yeah. So that's the ENPV. Yeah. And it's very complicated and it's very cool. Yeah. It's very cool. It's very complicated. Yeah. But it's now it's the thing. Companies are expected to not just look at the the numerical figures, the cash flow, but also the social impacts. Yeah, the intangible impacts. Yeah. So in the future, for example, yeah, for microfinancing, for example, if an ultra small business comes to them, yeah, and then says that, could you please help finance my business? Yeah, a very small business. Yeah, could you please help finance my business? And then the penyalur, then the penyalur keuangan, microfinance. Yeah, then the microfinance entity, usually if they do the NPV analysis, yeah, then oh no, the risk of this person is too high. Yeah, so it becomes very unprofitable for me. So you reject the request. Yeah, but yeah, it might not be the case when you use the ENPV. Yeah, because even though the risk is very high, therefore there's a high chance of default. Yeah, which makes the discount rate very high. However, there's a social impact factor. That person, yeah, who's an ultra small business, if they succeed, then there's a multiplier effect for the people in his village, for example, and this will in turn benefit the development of that village. That needs to be translated into numbers, and that will adjust the ENPV upwards. So it becomes even more difficult for businesses to do so. Yeah, because now we just don't talk about the tangibles when you want to do the NPV analysis. You also want to look at the intangibles. Yeah. Okay. So, and then the EIRR is just the same. It's just you set the ENPV to 0 to get the internal rate. That's it from me. So in a nutshell, very simple, very preliminary explanation on the point of view of capital budgeting in the Islamic perspective is that. Do I have any questions? Is there any question? Well, this is very challenging because, like, for example, Bank Syariah Indonesia, yeah, the merger of the big banks, BRI, BNI Syariah, Bank Mandiri Syariah, yeah, they have big plans in the future. Yeah, for example, they have big plans for small businesses, capitalizing on the strength of BRI Syariah, and having these plans in mind, they need to, if keputusan menterinya sudah keluar, they need to incorporate this calculation now, ENPV and EIRR, but it's for a better world. It's for a better world. I mean, it sounds really well. That's neat. How you have to quantify air pollution, how you quantify the reduce of crime rate because of the increase of religiousness in an area because you built a Sharia hotel. Well, yes, that's fancy. But even almost 7 years ago, there's been an author who wrote, an economist who wrote how to quantify pahala. So heavenly rewards. Heavenly rewards. How do you make an economic model for that? So it's possible. Anything is possible. You can make economic models for anything. Apalagi cuman masalah polusi, apalagi cuman masalah crime rate. You can even make an economic model for pahala, and a heavenly reward from God, from the divine. So you can do anything. And this NPV, it's very mathematical. I'm not going to show you here. Okay. Do I have any questions? And this is very in line with Islamic business ethics, Islamic ethics. So the Sharia financial management very much supports this notion of ENPV and EIRR. We shouldn't, even though it's challenging, but it's in line with our philosophy. To do good. Untuk kita sebagai khalifah di muka bumi, to do good, we were given everything in mint condition. We should be able to maintain it in mint condition, and we should be able to return it in mint condition. So it's in line with our philosophy. Kita ini hanya khalifah, kita ini wajib merawat bumi dan lain sebagainya, tidak membuat kerusakan, and this is in line with it. Okay, any questions? Do I have any questions or comments? Doesn't have to be questions. It could also be comments or clarifications. No? Okay. Then here's your discussion question. You read the discussion question, and then biasanya sebelum meet itu kalian presentasinya gantian ya? Ada 6 kelompok berarti. Is that true? Do I have 6 groups? Betul, Demi? Ada 6 kelompok? Demi atau Danau?
Kayaknya enggak 6 kelompok deh, Mem.
Ada berapa kelompok?
4 mungkin, 4.
Tapi setiap minggu yang presentasi 1 kelompok. 1 kelompok aja. Setiap minggu.
Kalau kemarin sama bulan 4-4-nya, Mem. Tapi pertanyaannya memang beda-beda.
Oh, pertanyaannya beda-beda. Oke, 4 kelompok. Pertanyaannya beda-beda. Pertanyaannya tapi dikasihnya 1 minggu sebelumnya.
Iya, kayak gini. Terus nanti minggu depannya presentasi untuk jawab pertanyaan masing-masing.
Tapi pertanyaannya beda-beda. Jadi ada 4 pertanyaan gitu. 4 pertanyaan. Oke. Alright. We'll see ya. Nanti saya ngobrol lagi sama Wulan. Enaknya bagaimana? Karena ya sebaiknya memang kompak ya sama kelas paralel satunya. Oke. Give me a day. A day to make sure what you need to do for next week. One day. I need to talk to Wulan first. Okay. Right. If there are no further questions, then let's end today's session. And I will see you next week. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Mohon maaf lahir batin. I'll see you next week. Bye bye everyone. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, ma'am.